Congratulations on the purchase of your Royal Sovereign cold laminator. Following are step-by-step instructions to get you started. How to load the laminator and how to normally laminate your graphics. Remove the upper laminating supply shaft from the laminator. Orient the roll of laminating film so that the film is coming off the bottom of the roll towards the front of the laminator. Take the roll feed shaft and slide it into the laminating roll. Put the loaded laminating roll film shaft back in place. You must remove the safety devices from the machine to allow easy access for loading the film. Remove the safety guard, the finger guard, and the feed table. Make sure your roll of laminating film is centered on the laminator. Bring the laminating film underneath the large chrome idle bar and pull out approximately a foot, foot and a half of film. Separate the release liner from the laminating film. Take the release liner to the back side of the take-up core. Tape the release liner to the take-up core. It's also a good idea to make sure you've got at least one full revolution of release liner around the take-up core to prevent it accidentally slipping off when you start up the laminator. Take a sheet of backing paper. This can be release liner, craft paper, or any scrap material that you have in your shop. It should be wider than the laminating film that you're using. Take this backing paper and attach it to the exposed laminating film. Make certain that you are on the upper roller above the center nip point of the laminating rollers. Replace the feed table, the finger guard, and the safety guard. We're going to use what's called a leader board to get the film loaded through the laminator. Use any offcut of any rigid substrate. It should be approximately the width of the laminating film by approximately 8 to 10 inches in depth and should have at least one straight machine cut leading edge. Make sure the laminating rollers are in the fully open position. With the rollers open, take the straight leading edge of your leader board and use this to push the film and backing paper into the laminator. Close the rollers now until you feel pressure, which will vary depending on the thickness of the leader board. We suggest all new users start everything at speed 1. With the leader board now in place, we're going to run the laminator and apply pressure towards the laminating position so that when the rigid substrate clears the rollers, the gap will close to continue to drive the film through. Once the leader board clears the front rollers, close the rollers to the full laminating position. This will allow the laminator to continue to drive the film through the laminator. Once the leader board clears the rear cut line at the rear of the laminator, you can stop the laminator. Use the built-in cutter to remove the leader board from the rear of the machine. Visually inspect the film to make sure that it's flat and wrinkle-free on the rollers. Make certain when you're feeding your graphics, you have a nice, taut, flat leading edge by applying outward pressure with both hands. Use the foot pedal or the start button to start the laminator and ease the graphic into the rollers. Take a strip of release liner or scrap paper, slide it underneath the trailing edge of the graphic. This will prevent the full width of laminating film from hitting the roller when the graphic exits. Once the graphic exits the nip point of the rollers, stop the laminator. Remove the excess from the front of the feed table. Take your next graphic, lay it down on top of the hanging piece of slip sheet, and feed the graphic in. Keep repeating this process until all of your graphics are done. When you get to your final graphic to be laminated, take a backer paper approximately 2 feet long. Slide this slip sheet underneath the trailing edge of your final graphic. This longer slip sheet at the final graphic will allow you to have your graphic exit the rear of the laminator while still providing protection from the adhesive hitting the bottom roller. Thank you for purchasing the Royal Sovereign Laminator. We hope that this brief instruction will help get you started quickly. Thanks again.